And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Wednesday, February 15th. I'm Josh Engleman, here to break down a 10-game NBA slate for all of you, coming off of last night's 5-gamer, which was fine from a DFS perspective. Got 4 into the top 1%. Can't really ask for anything better. Nothing of value really clicked. One really annoying piece of my lineups. 2 that kind of bothered me a little bit more than they should in Peyton Pritchard and Matisse Thybulle. Nothing you could really do, but yeah, we're on to the next one. 4 1%ers, I'm going to be happy every single time. I'm not happy about Prize Picks, however, where we end up losing. I go 2 and 3, and it's legit. I tweeted it before. I don't normally care about like bad beats. It's just never anything that's really registered to me. Last night, we had over 0.5 free throws made by Kevin Huerter. I think we could all agree that Kevin Huerter's a pretty decent shooter. 0 for 2 from the line yesterday. If it was 0 for 1, I wouldn't care. The fact that he missed both of his free throws yesterday is infuriating to a degree that I can't even explain. And then I had the under for Giannis in points, rebounds, and assists, which looked great. It looked great. And it turns out this game ends up being incredibly competitive in a situation where it shouldn't. Giannis has to play 45 minutes in an overtime game, and he gets the over by a half point by scoring with 2 seconds left with a basket that did not matter. It's he needed every bit of 45 minutes to get it by the hook. That one's just brutal. It's just brutal. It should have been 4 of 5. Fox was going to lose either way. It just should have been 4 of 5. Instead, it's 2 of 5. That I don't like. That I don't like. It's annoying. If I'm going to lose, let Giannis go for 90 last night and make me look stupid. Let Kevin Huerter not shoot free throws. But for Giannis to have to play 45 minutes in a regulation game against the Boston Celtics B team, not in 45 minutes, in an OT game against the Celtics B team, and just get it with the final basket of the game after shooting 2 clear path foul free throws a couple seconds before that. Stupid. Just utterly stupid. And yet, we move on to the next day. It's Wednesday. We got coffee to drink. I didn't even know Hauser hit a 3 to send it to OT. I backtracked from last night because I didn't know that I never saw the end of that. I was asleep at that point. But it's time for us to break this bad boy down. 10 games to go through, a couple of which are going to be an absolute disaster. Coffee's here. We're going to get into it right now. Rise and grind. You guys know what to do. Cheers to you guys. Let's have a better Wednesday. This is going to be good. So good. So good. Oh, this is going to be annoying. So nobody wants to hear this. I'm quite confident of it. People want to hear this. Shout out to BetMGM for being the sponsor of the video. We're going to talk about BetMGM when we go to run our crunches a little bit later. What people really don't want to hear, and I'm going to switch the screen for it. So you guys that watch this are well aware that I had a dental procedure last week. So I still have stitches in my mouth. And I just felt one release half of itself. So now I've just got what feels like a dangling string in my mouth. That's really incredibly pleasant. It's just not, it's not in the right spot. It keeps touching my tongue. It's a non-zero chance I'm going to have to go snip this out of my mouth while we do this. Actually, let me take my fish oil. Let me take my vitamin D. There we go. Fish oil, vitamin D. Got to be healthy. Got to be healthy. Now we're getting into it. San Antonio Spurs. 6.5 point dogs in Charlotte. 239.5 total. This one's probably a disaster. No Trey Jones, no Devin Vassell, no Romeo Langford. Q tag on McBuckets, no Roby, no Kem Birch. Okay. I think we can handle that. So Spurs last played on the 13th, and they started Collins, Branham, Sohan, Keldon Johnson, Keita Bates, Diop. Devontae Graham came off the bench. So I'm going to assume that they do that again. Which means I actually do want to start this rotation from scratch just to make it a little bit easier. So we're going to get Malachi Branham, starting point guard. And he's been playing, I don't know, 29 minutes a game, something like that. We'll get Zach Collins in for 28. We'll get Charles Bassey. Did they do a straight split? No, a couple minutes off. So we'll go 18 to Bassey. We're going to need to get, I mean, at the very least, Devontae Graham is playing the backup point guard run. So there's 19 minutes. We know that we want to get Keita Bates Diop in for 29. We're going to get Keldon Johnson in for 33. Oop, I got to bump everybody down here a notch. 33, 29, and then Sohan played 27, which is kind of what he had been playing all year. So we'll go to 28 there. Now, where else do we bump up? Keita Bates Diop has played pretty sizable minutes, so we're going to take him up to 26. That piece is easy. Isaiah Roby was the second guy off the bench. Then Blake Wesley was third. So I think they're treating Devontae Graham more like a 2. Devontae Graham actually subbed in for Jeremy Sohan. So they were just sort of rotating all over the place. So if we assume that Blake Wesley is going to continue to be in the rotation as the essential backup point guard, then he's the guy that needs those 19 minutes. I mean, all the positionality for the Spurs is pretty fake. But there's also that problem, which exists. All right, so we still have 30 minutes left. We need to get minutes to Dominic Barlow for sure. Barlow played about 17 minutes in each of the past few games. They don't have Stanley Johnson anymore, so I guess I'll get rid of him. So we'll get Barlow in for 17. That leaves me 13, which I guess technically would go to McBuckets, but he's going to need more than that. So somebody's minutes have to go away. Because I got to get McDermott to 19 at a minimum. Which means someone loses playing time. Who's going to be the guy that loses the playing time? It's probably Barlow, right? What I really need to do is split 30 minutes between Barlow and McDermott. McDermott getting 19 of those minutes. Barlow gets 11. That feels more likely to me. Rates I don't have to change. These are all sort of set already. So that's going to be San Antonio. We'll then look at Charlotte. On the Charlotte end, what do we got going on for the Hornets? No Oubre, no Martin. Oubre close, though. So we'll keep an eye there. Kai Jones doubtful, which I guess is totally meaningless. But, I mean, this is a team that does not mess around. So they have only played 11 guys over the past, basically, month. 2 of those guys aren't even on the team anymore. So, I mean, this is a team that is running a 9-man rotation with essentially no wiggle room. 37 minutes for LaMelo, 35 for Terry Rozier, 35 for PJ Washington. Gordon Hayward probably should get to 33. I'll take a minute away from JT Thor for that one. Mark Williams in for 28. Nick Richards in for 20. That's pretty easy to handle. Thor, DSJ, Bryce McGowan's. This is all set already. Easy stuff for Charlotte. This is a disgusting basketball game, but I have a sneaky suspicion it's going to be very important So as we look at the Hornets, I will happily pay $5,300 for Mark Williams. Still, to me, quite underpriced. I mean, he should be $1,000 more expensive pretty easily. It's not close. He's not even remotely close to the correct price. I think LaMelo, PJ Washington, Rozier, all three guys you want to pay attention to. I don't want to say they're priorities, but like they're close for a 10-game slate. They're as good a place as you can be for not being lock type plays. Like Mark Williams is probably going to be the best center that you can get to today. Ball, Washington, and Rozier. You should be getting to those guys. A matchup against San Antonio is fantastic. You should even be taking a couple swings at Nick Richards. Because if it breaks like it did on Saturday and he plays 27 minutes, he's 3,500. He's going to smash that number. On the San Antonio side, look, Zach Collins is sort of like Mark Williams. He's 5,100. He's underpriced. It's not as big of an underpricing because Zach Collins isn't as good of a per-minute guy as Mark Williams has shown himself to be. Keldon Johnson for 6,600 against the Hornets. Like, that's a guy that I want to get to a lot. You can work in Keita Bates-Diop, Jeremy Sohan, Devontae Graham, but Collins and Keldon Johnson are the two priorities from San Antonio. Mark Williams is the overwhelming priority for Charlotte, but get yourself some LaMelo, get yourself some Rozier, get yourself some Washington. One down. Chicago and Indy. Bulls are 2.5-point dogs in Indianapolis, 231 total. We're not going to have DeMar DeRozan for this one, so we got to project this rotation from Scriggity Scratch. Caruso, questionable once again. No Jones, which is important for Andre Drummond. No Javonte Green either. Goran Dragic is available. So let's work our way through this one. We know one thing. Nikola Vucevic is going to go in at the center spot. I think 35 minutes feels pretty safe, and I think Andre Drummond is playing the straight backup run. That piece is easy. We're going to get Ayo Dosunmu starting at point guard. I don't think that'll be all that surprising to anybody else, considering that's what happens every time they play. Let's get Patrick Williams minutes in as well. He's been playing about 27 a game. Not going to project him for 27. I think 30 is the flat number for Patrick Williams, especially with no Derrick Jones Jr. actually, and no DeRozan. Positionally, that's kind of, he might have to play a little bit more today. They don't really have anybody. No Javonte Green, no DeRozan, no Derrick Jones Jr. Like, that's their size. So I think he's going to be in for 32. I don't really know who the fake 4 is going to be. I guess that's going to be, I mean, it's probably going to be Levine. I'm guessing Zach LaVine is the biggest guy left. Maybe? Like, how tall is Zach LaVine? He's like 6'6", right? He's 6'8", wingspan, 6'5" height. Yeah, I think Levine's going to have to be like the fake 4. Unless Dalen Terry is like sneaky taller than I think he is. Okay, Dalen Terry's 6'7". He's going to play today. We'll get Dosunmu in. He's going to have to play big minutes here. I'm going to go 32 to Dosunmu to start, but it might end up being more than that. Dragic straight back up there. I think Caruso. I mean, Caruso's questionable, and they need his minutes for today. But if he doesn't play, there's going to be a lot of value on the Bulls today. I'm going to go 24 to Kobe White. I just want to get these guys sort of like baseline to find out how many minutes I actually have left over. Okay, so with the 8, I still need to give Dalen Terry minutes. And at the very least, I'm going to just give him the 11. So I have 16 minutes left over to hand out for the rest of the Bulls. And it's not going to be any other guys. Like, the only other guy that's going to be available is Tony Bradley. They don't need another center. In theory, they could play 2 minutes of Vooch and Drummond alongside of each other. They've done it like very, very minimally. But if I do Vooch on, Drummond on this season, they have played 13 minutes alongside of each other. I'm actually going to say that they get 2 minutes alongside of each other for today. I think that's a reasonable stance to take. And then I'm going to give Dalen Terry 14 minutes. I'm going to get Alex Caruso 28, assuming he plays. I'm going to get Kobe White to 26. I'm going to get Ayo Dosunmu to 34. I'm still 3 minutes too high, or 3 minutes short, but that's where I think we can get Tony Bradley blowout run. This is a very, very interesting team for today. Andrew Martinez. Derek Jones Jr. is just out for today, so he is out. I mean, it's going to be hard to want to get to Drummond if you can get to, like, Nick Richards, because there's just a better path. It's a 10-game slate, so, like, no, he's not in play, but, like, he's kind of in play. It's a weird way to describe it, but now we got to grab new rates because this is obviously a team that's very different when DeMar DeRozan isn't on the floor. How many games has DeRozan missed this year? It can't be a lot. Yeah, he's missed 4 games. So what we'll say is DeMar DeRozan off, and then let's just say Zach LaVine and Vooch on, because there's not another major usage guy. And this should be a pretty big chunk of time. Yeah, 360 minutes. That should be enough. So Zach LaVine in 360 minutes with Vooch on and DeRozan off, 29% usage. Patrick Williams in that time is at 16, so he's just himself. Vooch is at 24, so Vooch does see the bump. Kobe White is at 16 and change. Dosunmu is at 15, so he's just himself. And then Caruso is at 14. Assist rates, I'm guessing, are a little higher for some of these guys. Nope, LaVine doesn't really move. Vooch doesn't really move. Dosunmu doesn't. Dosunmu gets a bit of a bump. I guess I got to give him that. Hippopotamus in the house. And then finally, rebounds. Vooch a little bit more active on the glass. We'll give him that bump. That's probably the extent of it. So that's Chicago. Incredible matchup against Indiana, too. We don't want to forget how good that is. Indiana's looking like they're, well, either they're playing a bunch of these new dudes or Chris Duarte is out. And the answer to that is Chris Duarte is available. Q-tag Miles Turner, Q-tag Daniel Tice. Turner missed on Monday. Something to keep an eye on. Jordan Nwora jumped Chris Duarte in the rotation as well. So I don't think we have a ton that we need to change here, but we do have some slight tweaks. We're going to keep Halliburton in for 34. I'm going to keep TJ McConnell in for 18. We've got Andrew Nembhard, whose minutes have started to recede a bit. We'll get him in for 25. 28 for Mathurin. I'm going to go to 29. 33 for Buddy Hield. I'm going to come down to 32. 31 for Miles Turner. Assuming he plays, we're going to go 30 to Turner. 18 to Tice. Got 25 minutes left over now. Neesmith in for 29 minutes works. I want to get Jordan Nwora in for 18. So that leaves me 7 extra minutes. And those 7 minutes, I'm just going to give to Chris Duarte. I'm not going to have to change any rates, but we're going to have to pay very close attention to Indiana because if Miles Turner is out, you know, we're running out the Isaiah Jackson experience or something along those lines. So Isaiah Jackson has played these past 3 games. Can't expect them to play today if they're at full strength, though. Okay, so for Indiana, there are no priorities here. If you want any pieces of that starting lineup, by all means. I think Halliburton's too expensive. Benedict Mathurin would be the guy I would want the most. Neesmith probably too. I don't really expect to get to much Pacers. And then on the... Why can't I remember who they're playing already? Injury news. Chicago. Alex Caruso, 3,400. If he's starting, he's going to look really good. Dosunmu for 4,400, assuming Dosunmu, that's a fun thing to say. Looks okay. I thought there was going to be a lot more value here for the Bulls, and it's just shy of that. You want to rotate through Levine, Vooch, Dosunmu, Patrick Williams, Caruso, Kobe White. But Caruso and Dosunmu, to me, are the best 2 guys from an ownership perspective. You're not going to feel bad about getting Levine or Vooch, though. Thought that one was going to go a little bit different. Cleveland, Philly. Barring injury news, I can almost guarantee we're not going to like anything in this game. Cleveland is fully healthy. Danny Green is available. So I guess I should put him on the team. He's got to be hiding somewhere. Yep. So Danny Green going to Cleveland. Reggie Jackson is going to Denver, right? I got that done now. Let's sort that again. Team and name. Not team and team. That wouldn't help. Let's try this one again. But I can't imagine we're liking anything here for Cleveland. They're also... Are they moving Dean Wade out of the rotation? Because that is surprising to me. Because he should not be out of the rotation. One spell in the first half. Did he get hurt? No, I guess he didn't get hurt because he's not on any sort of injury report. Okay, let's figure this one out. Garland in for 34 minutes. Sure. Donovan Mitchell in for 34 minutes. Sure. I'm going to make that 35 for both of them. We're going to start it over. It's a competitive matchup against Philly, so I think you get starters in a different way. We'll get Ricky Rubio in for the backup point guard run, and then 18 total. We get Jared Allen in for 34. We get Evan Mobley in for 35, I think. That works. We're going to get Karis LeVert for 26. Do we think Danny Green is playing today? I assume he is, right? I'm going to assume that Danny Green is going to play. So I'm going to give Danny Green 6. We have 57 minutes to give to Chetty, Danny Green, Isaac Okoro, and I guess not Dean Wade. So we're going to get Okoro in for the 29 minutes he appears to be playing every night. We'll go 28 for right now. And then I'm going to split 29 minutes between Chetty and Danny Green. So we're going to give Chetty 15. Give Danny Green 14. Could be Dean Wade. Who knows? I gave Dean Wade 35 minutes instead of Donovan Mitchell. That's definitely not going to happen. Rates don't need to change for this team right now, so we'll go to Philly. None of this is going to even matter because of the 216 total. 2 games today, under 220. Cavs, Philly. Huge game for my bourbon bet. So I've got Sixers regular season wins going up against Cavs regular season wins. Where do I stand in that bet right now? Important stuff. This is a big swing game. Cleveland is at 38-22. Philly is at 37-19. So Philly is slightly ahead just because they've got some games in hand. They are They've played 4 less games than Cleveland. A win here puts them tied in the win column, both at 38. But Philly will then have a 4-loss cushion. Big game for me drinking good later on. So let's cross our fingers there. Now let's look at Philly. For Philly, I'm going to assume that Joel Embiid is questionable. Holy shit, surprise, surprise, he is. Furkan Korkmaz is out for personal reasons. Shocked to see that. And then PJ Tucker is probable. We saw him leave the game early last time out. I don't think that I have any things that I want to change here. I guess I'm going to go to 35 on Embiid. And I'm going to go... I already have 36 for Harden. So that's fine for me. Maxi's minutes up again, which means that I got to bump him up. So we'll get him up to 31. Melton's minutes are coming down pretty aggressively. Daniels played more, but I think that's just because of PJ Tucker. I don't really have a place to get him more minutes. Unless you think it's Melton. Yep, maybe Melton. Take another minute away from Tobias Harris, too, and give it to McDaniels. That's going to have to be it. I'll take one more from Niang. None of this matters. I don't know why I even care. I really don't. They ain't missing Thibault too much. Yeah, it's hard to miss a guy that doesn't play. All right, so for Philly, if you want to play anybody, play Joel Embiid. I don't really see a scenario where you're playing anybody else. This game environment is awful. On Cleveland, I probably wouldn't play anybody. And when I say these things, what I really mean is, like, you can pretty much always play starters. If you want to play Harden, Harris, Maxey, obviously Maxey, different term for starter, but you know what I mean. You can do all of, like, they can be the last guy in. Jared Allen, Mobley, Mitchell, Garland. These guys have chances to put up winning scores. They're just not the most cost-effective ways to do so. So that's 3 games down. We're up 7 o'clock. 130 people in the house. We got the hype sticker from Hippopotamus, giving us the hippopotamus. We're a little light on likes, 36 right now. We should be around 60 based on how many people are in here. So hit that thumbs up. We're going to go to New York. Knicks in Atlanta. 3-point dogs for New York. 232 total. This is another team where probably don't have too much to dig into other than the fact that their rotation is now a puzzle. But, you know, I got 25 minutes in for Josh Hart. He played 28 on Monday. This is just a game that I need to look at. So they beat Brooklyn by 18. Starters didn't close. Brunson came off early. Randall came off early. Barrett just played way less. Didn't have to close. Hartenstein was going to close, but didn't. Josh Hart didn't start. Played big run in both sets. I mean, conceivably could have closed. So I think I'm going to take another minute. I'm going to take 2 more minutes away from... No, I'm going to take 1 more minute away from RJ Barrett. We're going to get Josh Hart to 26. Quentin Grimes played 22. Really only played 20. Decent chance he wouldn't have saw the floor again. So we'll take him down to 23. We'll get Hart up to 27. I think that's about all I can do for the Knicks for right now. They're just a really difficult team to peg down because they have so many like parts. For the Hawks, Atlanta. Actually, I didn't even look at the Knicks. Yeah, no Mitchell Robinson, RJ Barrett's available. Q-tag on John Collins, who missed Monday's game. DeAndre Hunter is available. So we are projecting Atlanta to just be normal Atlanta. Saddiq Bey played 21 minutes. Did something happen to Saddiq Bey to just have such a stupid rotation? They lost by 4 to the shitty Hornets. Bey started. No foul trouble. Just barely played. Didn't close. They closed with Bogdanovich. Now, that doesn't surprise me. So I guess I'm okay with this rotation as well. Oh, they kept playing... Oh, yeah. John Collins was out. I was going to say that, wow, they kept playing Jalen Johnson. John Collins was out. So no changes for this one either. So as we look at this, I find Atlanta to be uninteresting. DeJounte Murray, 8,400 is probably my favorite play, but these are all like 5X guys. There's nothing to write home about for Atlanta whatsoever. For the Knicks, it's the same story. I don't see anything that you want to try to get to a lot of. You know, if you like Jalen Brunson, he looks a lot like DeJounte Murray today. I really just don't see a scenario where we have anything to add. I am going to take another minute away from RJ Barrett and give it to Josh Hart, get him up to 28. Who knows? Like, RJ Barrett can come out and play 36 minutes today. It's not going to really make a difference. I don't really think you should be rostering anything from Atlanta, New York, Cleveland, or Philly, other than just like scatter shot dudes. Now, this next game, we're not really going to be able to talk about, at least on the Boston side, because Boston's walking wounded on a back-to-back. And it looks like Derek White might not be able to play because he can't hear out of his left ear. That's a new one. So the Pistons are 9.5-point dogs in Boston, 229 total. Just in case you ever want to know how bad the Pistons are, the Celtics are missing like everybody that has a real heartbeat. Mike Muscala played like 40 minutes last night in OT. Blake Griffin was a value play you needed to win a slate, and they're still 9-point favorites against the Pistons. So the big news here for Detroit is that we have James Wiseman, who they said is going to start today. What does that mean for Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart? I don't have the foggiest idea. I really don't. Should we be assuming that James Wiseman starts? I mean, they said he's going to start. Has that changed? Has that changed? That's the tricky part. He can't start, right? David Russell with the big super chat. Let's pop that up on the screen. Said, thank you for your advice yesterday. I got the 20th in the 125K micro $3 Tuesday contest. I did not get to 20th. So you beat me. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. Well, there's really only one option for who James Wiseman can start over. Maybe two. It wouldn't make much sense to me if he started over Jalen Duren. I think they're going to go Duren Wiseman. I have no idea why, but I think that's what they're going to do. So I'm going to gut this rotation. We're going to start it from scratch. Sean Valentine, why do I play on DraftKings nowadays? Because FanDuel stopped doing 100K up top for their 150 max. DraftKings did not. They still do it. I mean, it's not as if like, oh, this team is so dumb. They're so stupid. So on a per 36 basis, Jalen Duren doesn't shoot any threes. Now, Beef Stew shoots 5 threes a game. Are they going to bring Duren off the bench? I mean, Jalen Duren's going to be really pissed. What? I guess that you don't care. I'm going to go 24-24, Duren and Wiseman. And I'm going to go... I don't think they can play Duren and Wiseman alongside of each other. I just don't. Duren legitimately doesn't shoot threes. James Wiseman took 38 in his rookie year. Doesn't exactly shoot threes either. A Beef Stew shoots them, which I guess is important to a degree. I mean, Beef Stew he doesn't shoot well, but he shoots them. So let's get the point guard spot done. This sucks. I hate this team so much. And they're going to end up looking good somehow. Like, they're going to end up having some sort of, like, stupid pricing. So we get Killian Hayes back in the starting lineup. I'm going to assume that he can close. So we'll give him 28 minutes. Obviously, Alec Burks gets the other 20. Going to get Jaden Ivey in for 29 minutes. Seems about right. That'll allow me to get Alec Burks up to 23. Maybe. Boyan, we know, is going to get, I don't know, 34. Oh, man, I just really don't know what to give to Beef Stew. I guess I'm going to give him 28. I think can Beef Stew be the guy that plays the most out of these guys? That's 26, 22, Duren, and Wiseman. I don't know what else to do with these guys right now. This is a puzzle. Let's see. Isaiah Livers is going to need like 23 minutes. Hamidou Diallo is going to need 18. I'm going to go 10 to Corey Joseph. I got nothing here. I don't have a damn clue what to do with this team. Jay Neville, comparing Duncan and Robinson to James Wiseman and Jalen Duren is, I understand you said not the same talent level, but we are talking about two such wildly different things. That's two Hall of Famers. Two Hall of Famers against the team that's probably going to have the first pick in the draft. I mean, Silent Assassin, I would be absolutely shocked if it's Alec Burks because he does not really play the 3 for this team. They don't seem to ever want to start Diallo. I think Livers starting would be the most likely scenario. It doesn't really matter. It's all gross. So I don't really know what to do with Boston here. 1, they're on a back-to-back. 2, word on the street is Jason Tatum might play today. 3, we don't know what they're doing with Time Lord, who didn't start yesterday, but did stay, or did play. I really just don't know what to do here. I mean, like, Derek White didn't leave Milwaukee. Now, obviously, you can get from Milwaukee to Detroit pretty easily, but if Derek White can't hear out of his left ear, it feels like he's just not going to play today, but they're out of dudes. Grant Williams played 47 minutes yesterday. Muscala played 44. Somehow I played Peyton Pritchard, and in an overtime game, he still only played 14. That's less than he played in the game before that. Incredible. They didn't even... Like, Luke Cornett didn't... I gave Luke Cornett 22 minutes yesterday. He played 1. They couldn't even... Like, in an overtime game, if you've got to play Mike Muscala and Blake Griffin 60 minutes, you just played Luke Cornett 28 minutes when Robert Williams sat. Somehow Time Lord got 13. None of this is easy to do. I don't know how to project Boston. So let's do the things that we think are definitely going to be here. And then we'll figure it out from there. The funny thing about Blake is he still only really played like I gave him, what did I give him? 21, 22? I gave him 21. He only played 24. He just had 6 boards and 6 assists. Okay. Let's think about this in the best way possible. Malcolm Brogdon. Okay, so now it's Malcolm Brogdon on a back-to-back. Has he played any of those yet? All right, let's just straight away. I'm giving Malcolm Brogdon 30 minutes. And then I think I have to give... Obviously, Al Horford is playing today. He's got to play 31 minutes. I think Grant Williams has to play 34 at a minimum. At the very least, we're getting 24 minutes out of Mike Muscala. I am going to assume that Derek White doesn't play, which means we're going to get 34 minutes out of Peyton Pritchard. No, I can't. If I type that in, we're fucked. Peyton Pritchard's in 100% of lineups if Derek White doesn't play today. Yeah, Ryan, that's actually not true any longer, but I appreciate you dropping it in here. This is all just going to be incredibly annoying. I'm not saying he's playing today, but he is not officially out any longer. Here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm not going to project this team. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to give 20 minutes to, let's do 20. Let's just get it so that nobody shows up. I will give Horford his 31. I'm going to give the guys that I know unequivocally can play today the minutes. I think that's the only thing that we could really do here. Guys, if Marcus Smart comes back today from a right ankle sprain and plays one game before the All-Star break, the Celtics should be disbanded. They don't play again, right? No, they can't. Today's Wednesday. They played yesterday. The chances of Marcus Smart playing today is insane. I'm sure he will because I'm saying this now. But this is not the way that you should be bringing a guy back. Now, it is a sprained ankle, but there's just no incentive. You can rest him for another 7 days. Just you're playing the Pistons. All right, so let's give 18 minutes to Blake, 20 to White, 20 to Grant Williams, 15 to Jaylen Brown, 15 to Jason Tatum, 15 to Luke Cornett, 20 to Brogdon, 15 to Smart. We'll go to 15 to Brogdon, too. 15 to Muscala, 15 to Peyton Pritchard, 15 to Time Lord, 15 to Hauser. Yeah, this is the play. No, can't go 15 to Kabengele. That'll break me. 15 to Gallo. That's all that we can do here. I mean, so Tatum playing today isn't crazy. He's just sick. That's not an injury. If he just feels good, he's playing. We have no idea what we're going to see here. We're not going to get this injury report till 1:30. But Joe Mazzulla said last night that we don't know the status of Tatum any longer. So you never know what's going to happen on a day like today. I can't project Boston. It's literally impossible. We don't know the status of their entire starting five and 2 more guys in their rotation. So if you like Al Horford at 5,100, he might actually be an okay play. But I'm going to take some of his minutes away. Perfect. What a blast this is going to be. That's for sure. So this is the first time I've done this on a show. Just fully punting Boston because there's no way to know. There's just no way to know. We go to Detroit. Boyan for 6,200 still looks fine. Killian Hayes for 4,700 could be okay. I don't get the sense we're going to be going to much from the Pistons. Go to Miami now. Game number 6. So we're halfway done. 170 people in here. Hit that like button if you haven't done it yet. The Heat are 1-point favorites in Brooklyn, 217 total. No Kyle Lowry, no Tyler Hero, no Victor Oladipo, no Jovic, no Yurtsevin. Q tag on Duncan Robinson. Maybe that broken finger will let him come back and be able to shoot. Who knows? But we're going to project him to play. We have no Tyler Hero now, so we got to redo this entire rotation. So this will be a treat. We had no Tyler Hero on Monday either. So we know what we're getting from a starting lineup at least. So we're going to go straight away. 35 minutes to Gabe Vincent. And we're going to need, 35 minutes from Max Strus. Jimmy Butler sort of just plays 33 minutes a night no matter what. Caleb Martin can't go any lower than 30. Bam gets 36. That much we know. Orlando Robinson gets that back up. Let's see. Bouye is a point guard. Am I right there? I guess I'm going to have to add Bouye to my model finally. Yes. So we'll give Jamal Cain 13 minutes as a placeholder. I'll add Bouye later. Haywood Highsmith is going to have to play a decent amount today. Probably something in that 24 range. And that leaves me 22 minutes. I think I'm just going to give those 22 minutes right to Duncan Robinson. I'll fix Bouye later. Rates actually do matter because there's no Tyler Hero. So let's grab Miami rates. We're going to take Hero off. We're going to take Kyle Lowry off. And just in general, do we have enough minutes to look at these guys? We do. Bam with those guys off is... I think Jason Tatum is more likely to play today than not play. I just want to put that out there right now. It's an illness. It's not an injury. If they're missing 27 dudes and he's just like, I feel fine, whatever, he's going to play today. All right, Bam, 25% usage. Caleb Martin, 15. Do I got to take Victor Oladipo off too? Is this going to shrink my sample too much? It's a pretty decent chunk. All right, Caleb Martin, 16.5%. Gabe Vincent, 21% usage. We're definitely not doing that, but we'll take him up to 20. Butler is at 20. He's just the same guy he always is. Max Strus, basically the same guy he always is. Okay. Vincent gets a massive assist rate bump. Jimmy Butler as well. Massive assist rate bump. Bam Adebayo somehow not as massive as you would expect. And then rebounding probably doesn't matter. I wouldn't be surprised if Bam did less of it. That's for sure. All right, so that's going to be Miami. Now we'll look at Brooklyn, who should be a pretty easy team to project at this point. Everybody, Seth Curry is back. That actually does matter. So someone's going bye-bye in the rotation for sure. 33 minutes for Dinwiddie works. I assume Curry's going to... Is Curry going to start? He should start. I think Cam Johnson off the bench is probably better. Although it is an adductor injury for Curry. So maybe you bring him back slowly. Okay, let's think this through here. So 32 minutes to Claxton. I'll make it 31. Ben Simmons is the backup, and even then, that might not totally be true. Simmons played 13 minutes. Day'Ron Sharpe still played as well, so I don't think that Sharpe is going to continue to play, but he could. 29 to Cam Johnson. I just have to bring down to 28. 16 to Royce O'Neal. Kind of just need to bump that up. 34 to Dorian Finney-Smith. I can make 33. 17 for Joe Harris is fine. 34 for Bridges. I guess I'm going to make 33. Cam Thomas played 20. That's the spot where it starts to get a little squirrely. If I go 15 to Seth Curry as like Dinwiddie's backup, I'm 2 minutes heavy. I guess I'll take those away from Royce O'Neal. Now I'll take them away from Joe Harris. Good to see Seth Curry back. I don't have any rates that I can change for right now. I just don't know what this team is going to be doing. So for Brooklyn, I like Claxton for 6,700. I don't mind Dinwiddie for 7,400. No major priorities coming out of Brooklyn. This team really needs to just stabilize a bit. For Miami, though, 4,800 for Gabe Vincent. It's very, very difficult to not want to go there. I think Max Strus looks like an okay value option. Caleb Martin looks like an okay value option. If you want to pay 8,800 for Jimmy Butler, go for it. I just don't see enough value in an $8,800 power forward only guy. Bam might be a little bit too pricey as well. I thought we'd like more from Miami there. I really did. I assume we like some things here. Utah Jazz, 7.5-point dogs in Memphis. 239 total. 239 total is basically the highest of the slate. They're kind of tied with San Antonio and Charlotte. There's a lot more talent here, though. So for Utah, everybody's available. We saw Walker Kessler play 19 minutes and then not see the floor again, which was just staggering levels of annoying. But the good news is there's no way that we should expect that to ever happen regularly. I don't think we have much that we want to change here from their rotation other than I think that we can take a little bit of playing time away from Udoka Azubuike. I think that assuming Kelly Olynyk is going to play like 29 minutes continues to make some sense to me. 34 for Markkanen can't really go anywhere. Akbaji can probably get up to 21. Rudy Gay for 14 is fine. Fontecchio for 11 is fine. THT for 24 is probably too much. Sexton seems fine. Clarkson seems fine. Leave Fontecchio at 13. Rates don't have to change here for Utah, so we'll feel good there. Easy team to project right now. On the Memphis end of this one, no Steven Adams, but getting closer. Zaire Williams with the G League. So is Roddy, LaRavia, Kenny Lofton. So this is going to be pretty standard Memphis as well. We've stabilized here with Tillman. He plays about 25 minutes a night, 26 minutes a night. Clark gets whatever he's not playing. Like these guys are just splitting those minutes. Jaren Jackson's playing about 30 a night. 35 for Morant, 32 for Bane. I got 31 for Brooks. That all looks good. The rest of this is just guys you're not going to play. So on Memphis, since it's a fantastic matchup, feel free to pay 10-6 for Ja Morant. He'll look like a solid pay-up option. We're going to have plenty of value. Bane, Brooks, Jackson, Tillman. I think all of those guys are priced pretty appropriately. Tillman looks interesting at 4,200, but like he's not even going to look better than Mark Williams. Not even close. So he'll be difficult to get to. No, I don't think that the Grizzlies move Brooks for OG. If they were going to move Brooks for OG, they would have done it already. They're just going to I think they're just going to re-sign Brooks. I don't think Toronto has any interest in Dylan Brooks. Kelly Olynyk's points and rebounds on Prize Picks is at 16.5. Feel like that's a smash spot. Well, let's find out. On the Utah side, best plays to me are Walker Kessler at 5,900. I don't care about what happened the last time out. Colin Sexton at 5,600. Tough to get to Markkanen and Clarkson, but Totally fine options. I have Kelly Olynyk's points and rebounds at 17.5. So I have it over by 1. It won't be one that I select, but I don't have a problem taking the over. I certainly wouldn't recommend an under there. I don't think it's a big enough gap for me, but it's certainly trending if you like it. 3 games left to go now. Houston Rockets, 9-point dogs in OKC, 235 total in this one. Let's save this file, by the way, for the 180 people that are here. You don't want to see me drink bleach on the stream if it crashes. That would be awful. What is this message? All right, so for Houston, KPJ still out for one more game. Standard issue starter minutes here. Kenyon Martin's playing 33. Jalen Green should actually be 33. Knicks didn't play, so let's get his minutes out of there. 33 for Şengün. Sure. 31 for Jabari Smith. No, that's got to go up. I'm going to get too much Jabari Smith. That's got to be 33. That's going to be so annoying. I'm going to assume Frank Kaminsky isn't playing. Josh Christopher played 16. Jayshawn Tate for 25 works. Ty Washington in for 18. You got Garuba and the blowout. Is Knicks? I mean, Knicks is still there. He's just not playing. I don't know what a Darius Days is, but he played. Holy shit. Good shout. I have him in, Aldo. It doesn't matter. Who'd they pull? They pulled Conchar. Yeah, it doesn't. None of it matters. Good shout, though. It's a good bump for me. Wasn't really paying attention to Kennard. We'll get him in for 19 and random Conchar minutes. It doesn't matter at all, though. Let's get back to Houston here. Where do those final 15 minutes go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they were playing a 9-man rotation, which is what I have in here now. So who was going to play on Monday if this wasn't what I assume was a Houston ass beating? Yeah, so they got beat by 20. They lost the final 3.5 minutes to garbage time. I mean, Jabari's, I guess they were just trying to play their way back in. How does Daishin Nix not even see the floor? I don't know what to do with these final 15 minutes. I think it'll be Knicks. But at the same time, if you're going to be playing Ty Washington as the first guy off the bench, have they just established that it's not him? There's just not another natural position to give any of these guys more minutes. I'm just going to hide him on Knicks, I guess. All I can do. Then we go to OKC. The Thunder, probably not a lot of changes coming in here. On Monday, well, wait, I guess we do have Dario Saric now, who I assume is available. JRE is back. He played 18 minutes. So maybe we don't get Saric. I don't know. But there's 18 minutes to take from somebody. At the very least, they're going to JRE. Wiggins can afford to take a hit here. Everybody else stays the same. No reason we can't get 3 straight games of 30 or 27 plus from Kenrich Williams means I got to bump him up. So I at least want to go to 26 for Kenrich Williams. Itty for 30, I'm okay with. 28 for Dort, I guess, is a little high. We go to 26 there. We'll take Wiggins down to 12. We'll get an 8-minute rotation out of Dario Saric. Fantastic. Not much more to dig into there. OKC. $3,100 Jalen Williams would have been the guy. Now that I'm looking at his minutes, I don't think that I can give him 22. That's way too many. We'll take him down to 20. We'll give 2 more minutes to Dario Saric. So nothing here for OKC. Please feel free to play Shai Gilgeous-Alexander if you would like. And then on the Houston end, I'm going to play quite a bit of Alperen Sengun at 7,800. I'm playing so much of him that I actually want to go look at his rates quickly. And with these games where Jalen Smith has not played, or not Jalen, yeah, Jalen Smith, when Kevin Porter Jr. has not played. So games in which KPJ did not play, and we're going to say Eric Gordon off, which I really do think is going to make Sengun pop. And if that's the case, I'm not going to feel bad about this. Sengun, 231 minutes where KPJ didn't play and Eric Gordon is off. He's got a 21% usage rate. Soften that up a bit. Jabari Smith is at 22 in that time, so I'm not moving him. Tate's at 17. Jalen Green is at 30. And then Kmart is at 15.5. Sengun's assist rate go up 7. Now, lower. Okay. Does Jalen Green's go up? Not really. Tate? Not really. All right. I think we're good here. A little bit better with what I have in here for Houston. I like Sengun. I like Jabari Smith. No priorities. Jabari Smith lost his MPE, which sucks. Jalen Green's fine. That's about the extent of it for Houston. We got 2 games to go now. Dallas, 7-point dogs in Denver, 226 total. Probably not too much we can do here for Dallas. I'm guessing there's like a Q tag on Tim Hardaway or something. Q tag on Tim Hardaway, Q tag on Reggie Bullock, Q tag on Christian Wood. 2 of those guys are sick. Still no Maxey. Justin Holiday is available. Did I know that he went there? Sure didn't. That dude's going to play for Dallas. Like, almost for sure. At least I think he is. I mean, he's better than a lot of the guys that have been playing for Dallas. Maybe. Assuming all the Q-tag guys are in, though, there's not a lot we can do here. We got a little bit less Dwight Powell, which I mean, if you're just going to go ultra small, you're not going to do that against Denver. I don't really have any changes here to make. I guess we need to bump up Kyrie's minutes. Take him to 37. I'm going to take Luka to 37. I'm totally fine with Bullock at 32. I can make a very, very good case that should be 34, and I'm going to do that. Hardaway can stay at 33 since he's coming back off of being dinged up. Josh Green, I got in for 34. At a minimum, that's got to go to 36. I need to free up 6 more minutes. Don't think I have any other changes here. I guess I'll bump up Christian Wood to 22. And we're going to wait. Okay. I was going to say, where did I lose those 10 minutes? Cross our fingers on that one. We'll go to Denver then. For Denver, Q tag on Jamal Murray, Q tag on Aaron Gordon, Q tag on Reggie Jackson, who I believe officially signed. I don't think that we're getting Jamal Murray here. Now, this is a spot that's different than the games we looked at before. Jamal Murray has missed the past 5 games. Today is their final game before the All-Star break, I believe. Let me double check it's not a back-to-back. Oh, shit, it is a back-to-back. So they play again. No, it's not a back-to-back. They just happen to play next Thursday. It just threw me off. There's no way. I would be absolutely shocked if Jamal Murray plays today. And I'd be so shocked that I'm not even projecting him in. Like, Aaron Gordon's got a rib contusion. I assume he plays. I'm gonna make the assumption that Reggie Jackson's playing today. I'm gonna give him 20 minutes. In Bruce Brown starts. So let's see. If Jamal Murray doesn't play and Bruce Brown starts the game, how many minutes has he averaged? $11 games that Bruce Brown has started with no Jamal Murray. He's played 357 minutes. That's an average of 32. So we're going to bump up Bruce Brown 32 minutes. Reggie Jackson in for 20. We get Christian Brown in for 19 at a minimum here. Jeff Green stays in because they went to Ish on Monday, and for the past couple of games with Murray out. I just think that Reggie Jackson becomes Ish Smith. So I don't have a huge issue with anything else here. 31 minutes to Gordon. 30 minutes to MPJ. We've been playing a little bit more as of late, so let's take him up to 31. Thomas Bryant was the straight backup. Yeah, I feel pretty good here. Good enough, at least. Yeah, I think we're okay. I do have to pull rates for Denver, though. So we're just going to say games where Jamal Murray did not play. And games where MPJ, Aaron Gordon, Jokic, Bruce Brown. Let's just say we got at least 3 of those guys starting. They played 7 games like that. Jokic really just doesn't get as big of a bump as you would expect. Crazy to think about. Aaron Gordon, on the other hand, massive usage bump if he's playing. MPJ sort of just stays himself. Bruce Brown just stays himself. Jokic, same assist guy as normal. Aaron Gordon also gets a pretty sizable bump in assist rate. That's going to be Denver. And I think it's Bruce Brown. It's fine. Aaron Gordon's sort of already priced for this. There's not much here to like. Like, do you want to play Jokic? Sure. Is this a terrible spot? Kind of. Dallas is 28th in pace. Denver's 18th. This is slow. He's 11-8 center only. Clearly, you can always play Jokic, but I don't think it's like the best spot in the world. Other than he should just own this team. On the Dallas end, I think you can play Luka for 11-7. I would not be playing anybody else here from Dallas. Final game. 191 people in here. Let's see. I'm going to look, and it's going to say like 60 likes, and I'm going to be not happy. 77. Okay. My bad. That one's on me. Can we get it up to 90 and change? That'll be the halfway point. Hit me up with the 90 likes, folks. Last game. New Orleans Pelicans. 3-point dogs in Los Angeles against the Lakers for the Pels. What do we know? We've got a Q tag on CJ McCollum, no Zion, no Dyson Daniels. CJ McCollum did not play on Monday. This is a right ankle sprain. I'm just going to treat this like it's the same team that normally plays. Jay Rich came in with McCollum out, played 34 minutes. That is something to pay attention to moving forward. But at the very least, he's going to be a very interesting part of the rotation. something like that. Herb Jones, I guess, is live to play a little bit less now. I have no other changes that I need to make to this. We just need to pay attention to the status of CJ McCollum. And then finally, the Los Angeles Lakers. Q tag on LeBron, probable tag on AD. LeBron has not played since he broke the record. What do we do with LeBron today? Because, you know, in theory, he doesn't play, but they don't have time to screw around. Like, they need wins. And if you're the favorite at home, you need that win. They are 13th in the West. They are 2 games in the loss column, though, out of 10th. And they are only 5 games out of the loss column to get to 4th. So I think LeBron plays. Or at least that's probably a goal. I don't think we're going to get Mo Bamba over Wenyen Gabriel, but maybe we do. So I'm going to make that swap. 34 minutes to D'Angelo Russell seems fine. 30 for Schroeder seems fine. 28 for Rui, I do think needs to come down. Beasley for 18 is okay. 36 for Braun. 16 for Vandy. Yeah, let's take Rui down to 24. We'll bump up Lonnie Walker to 16. Snowman, no, I have not. Been dangerously close a few times. But no, I don't have it yet. Trust me, I'm on the hunt. All right, that's going to be it for my Lakers. If you want to play AD at 10-7, like, I think AD looks more interesting than Jokic, which is not a statement that most people want to hear. $6,800 for D'Angelo Russell. Fine. Probably not going to get to LeBron. On the Pels side, nobody of value. And we got to remember, this power rankings crunch and optimal crunch is not really going to be great to explain this slate because we don't have Boston. Boston is going to create value that allows you to get to the top end for sure. We just don't know. There's no way to project them yet. But we're still going to do the crunches because that's how this works, folks. We do crunches around these parts. So let's run those crunches. Hit the like button if you haven't done it already. Time to run some crunches. We'll start with FanDuel Optimals, but first, BetMGM is the sponsor of this video. If you would like 1 free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum and first bet insurance of up to $1,000, and all that, you're going to be able to get basically a month of Stokastic Plus Platinum for $10. That's the minimum deposit we need at BetMGM. Right away, that's a fantastic deal. But I recommend you take a real big shot on that first bet since you'll get it back in bonus bets if it loses. You could also use the promo code Platinum Sub when you do this. You could scan the QR code on the screen, but just click the link in the description. You got to be 21 or over. Please be responsible. And if you've got a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. I did make good time here. 7:45. I'll take what I can get. For a 10 gamer, there's no, like, I can't do that slate any faster than that. Just pay close attention. The Boston game will change this entire slate. Good luck sifting through the top salary guys, though. I'll highlight that when I get to DraftKings. All right, optimals on FanDuel. 326.79. Good call on pulling all of Derek White last second. Thanks for the tip. You two are consistently wrong about everything. What? I have no idea what R. Jones is talking about, but at no point in time did I say anything like that. I think Derek White was my most exposed play. Do you think that I'm Eric or Greg? I don't know who would have said pull Derek White. I can't imagine they would have. Anyway, 326.79. That's the optimal by 0.35. LaMelo Ball, Ayo Dosunmu, Colin Sexton, Caruso, Levine, Keldon Johnson, Jabari Smith, Bam Adebayo, Mark Williams. So pieces of this that make sense to me. Mark Williams for sure is just going to be here all day, I would expect. But we're going to see like 2 or 3 Boston guys show up here by the time we get to the end. I obviously wasn't watching live before lock last night, but I have no idea why they would have said something like that. Unless you mean Robert Williams. Did you misunderstand them? Why would Greg pull all of his Derek White? Wow. Look, I'm going to be very honest with you guys. That was fucking terrible advice. Terrible advice. Just so you guys know where the real advice comes from. Shout out to Greg and Eric, by the way. There you go. 71% Derek White. I know it's what. Where's ship my money at? Ship my money. 56% Derek White. The boss get it? Tom JK. Ooh, light fade there. 33 from Tom. I could see it. I could see it. At least balance. Heavier onto Brogdon. So if you're going to do one, you got to do the other, sort of. Where did Petty go? 81% Derek White. Craziness. 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 Those guys are nuts. Crazy people. Let's run power rankings. That's a wild take for a 5-game slate yesterday. Oh, man. Yeah, that's a wild one. I don't really see the path there. They don't have enough bodies to punt that game. Now, I certainly didn't see Mike Muscala playing 40 minutes yesterday. But all right, Ayo Dosunmu at the top of my list right now, 4,400. Again, he will not be that number one guy when we can actually project Boston. Strus 2, Vincent 3, Levine 4, Mark Williams 5, Patrick Williams, Jabari Smith, LaMelo Ball, Julius Randle, and Gordon Hayward rounded out. Hey, I liked Pritchard. I played a ton of Pritchard last night. That one's a tough one because they just didn't have the bodies yesterday. And you kind of just had to win the minutes guess. Like, no one would have ever expected Mike Muscala to be able to play 40 plus minutes when Peyton Pritchard plays 14 or whatever. Like, you're never going to do that. And if you're giving Peyton Pritchard 24 minutes, which I thought would have been like the low end yesterday, you're just going to get him a bunch. So the Pritchard one is just a tough beat. Just because we know who was available for Boston. They just didn't have guys otherwise. Like, you didn't expect Kabengele or JD Davidson to play, so you're just out of dudes. You just assume Pritchard plays. He could have very easily played 32, and you get 18 minutes out of Blake Griffin and 30 minutes out of Muscala, and all of a sudden it looks normal. All right, here we go. We move to DraftKings now. When that Boston lineup came out, the only thing you should have been doing was, in my opinion, running as far away as possible from Robert Williams. That's the only thing. You should have been jamming most of Boston. But Robert Williams, once he's not starting, you got to get the hell out of there. All right, here we go. Final crunch optimals on DraftKings. Oh, I mean, if Derek White's not playing today, Pritchard's playing 34 minutes. They don't have a choice now. All right, the optimal on DK, 293.2. It's the optimal by 0.23. Caruso, Rozier, Keldon Johnson, PJ Washington, Zach Collins, Ja Morant, Jabari Smith, Mark Williams. As I said, Mark Williams is going to be there all day. Jabari Smith, I think, is going to be there all day. I think Ja is probably the best pay-up option. All of that makes sense. You want to get a bunch of pieces of San Antonio and Charlotte for sure. Chicago shorthanded without DeRozan. Maybe there's no Caruso. But again, remember, Boston's showing up on this once we know what they're doing. We just don't know yet. Power rankings on DK. In 1 second here, folks. All right. Power rankings on DraftKings. Looking like it's going to be Bruce Brown at the top. Now, I know that that's an assumption of mine, but I feel like thinking Jamal Murray doesn't play after missing 5 straight and going into the All-Star break makes some sense. Gabe Vincent, 2. PJ Washington, 3. Mark Williams, 4. Keldon Johnson, 5. R. Jones, yes, get on the Mark Williams train. Caruso, Dosunmu, Strus, Rozier, and Ball rounded out. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. I got like a pinched something in my shoulder, and it burns when I move the right or wrong way. If Caruso plays, is he a better play than Dosunmu? I mean, I think they're basically the same. Hard to not like Bruce Brown, though, for today, assuming he starts. 5,200, 10-gamer. You know, you're looking for 36 fantasy points. Has it been there recently? No. But you don't really have a choice. Look, here's the real deal, guys. For Silent Assassin's point. Like, you want to play the best plays as much as you possibly can. To an extent. Like, it's in your best interest to assume that the best players, you should be trying to do what the best players in the world are doing. So let's just say, for example, that we're talking about everybody. We're going to do a quick lesson here. Everybody that max entered last night's big jam. So that's 1,750 out of 47. So like 40% of the field was max entered. Now I would like to, because it was only $10, I think it's a little bit more than it normally is, but still, the point is this. Damian Lillard was in 65% of lineups for anybody that max entered last night. For the tournament as a whole, it was 51. Jam the best plays. The highest owned guy on yesterday's slate was Damian Lillard at 51%. 150 maxers played 14% more than that. You don't have to get away from chalk the way that people think you do. Grant Williams, 47 in both. You just play those best plays. Matisse Thybulle from 150 maxers, 45% owned, more than he was in general. Derek White, 40% owned. Derek White here, a little bit less. It's a mild fade. You see where it starts to happen because you're pulling in all of these additional value plays. But Derek White was still the 6th most owned guy of 150 maxers. You do not have to get away from chalk. It's the myth that's been expelled to everybody recently that's just incorrect. You want to play the best guys. You'll have places everywhere else to be a little bit different in your lineup. You're not going to get anywhere if you're trying to get away from Lillard, Grant Williams, Derek White, Matisse Thybulle, Malcolm Brogdon. If you're trying to get away from all of these guys, you're going to lose long term. for sure in the NBA. This isn't football. We know what these guys are going to do. Don't overthink this stuff. You don't, JJ. Like that's the trick. One or two of those dudes, you're going to end up lighter on just from a math perspective. But like if I pop in my stuff, Petty's stuff, Adam's stuff, we'll put Tom in here. Look at the concentration of Green at the top. Like, did Petty get away from Lillard? Yeah. The reason he did? Because he had 90% Anthony Simons. If you're going to zig to the other guy. Makes perfect sense. But jammed away at the top. Thibault and everything. You're getting a ton of Brogdon here. Now, everybody sort of got away from Sam Hauser, which I think is interesting. Neither here nor there. But look at that concentration of Green at the top. We're following the chalk. It's just people are racing to the bottom, and that's like going to be one or two dudes that matter. Do not be afraid to just be playing all of these best plays. There's not like you gotta be there. Look, like, I mean, my 5 most owned plays were the 5 most owned plays on last night's slate. No real difference from, look at Tom here. 96% Lillard, 77% Grant Williams. He ended up being neutral to White, 65% Thibault, 53% Brogdon. Well over these chalk numbers. 46 to Fultz at 26% ownership. Like, just play those dudes. Play them. This is for everything. Deacon, so that question is important. It's even more important for single entry contests because that's a significantly smaller field. In 47,000 entries, you're going to need to take an extra risk or two. But let's think about it like this. Where's the biggest single entry last night? All right, the Showtime. 444 entries. Let me just look at what's the biggest single entry contest from last night. The Daily Dollar. Let's just even do the Daily Dollar. Ownership should be even more concentrated in situations like this because you can afford to eat more and more chalk. Like, it's so much flatter. Like, Dame being 44 here, if I was just to pull out, this will be a better example. Where's a high dollar single entry? Here, mid-range jumper. Something where like pros are getting into it. Yeah, so there you go. Mid-range jumper. Damian Lillard, 65% owned. Grant Williams, 65% owned. In these single entry contests, you're doing an even more extreme thing of what I just said. You are getting aggressively to the top. There's no incentive to playing a guy that's like, and I'm not saying to not play guys that are 5% owned, but like you're not getting down into the 4 and 5% owned dudes as much as you are in a 45,000 entry contest. You're jamming away at the best possible plays in a single entry contest. So it's even more extreme. There, the $12 pick and roll, single entry last night. Damian Lillard, 58% owned. There's no change. You're trying to get of Dame, Grant Williams, Thibault, Brogdon, Derek White, all these 44% owned or higher. You're probably trying to get all 5 of those guys in your lineup, and you're probably not looking to have less than 4. That's where it stands. I'm done here. It's 8 o'clock. I got so much more content to do for the rest of the day. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know. One more process show before we take a little bit of a break for the NBA All-Star Game. I'm going to miss you guys, honestly. I love my mornings, but I'm going to be really, really happy to take a couple days off, just get away from the technology, sit back, read a book, relax with the wife, and just hang out. So one more day. We're closing it out tomorrow. Short slate, too. So maybe we could take some questions if you want. Show up tomorrow, 6:30 a.m., bright and early. We're out of here, folks. This was The Process.